So we were at this bar called Handlebar in Atlanta, and we were talking, and I was doing some shooting inside of the party, right? And she says, hey, we ought to shoot together sometime.
That's not true.
Just a second.
Yes,
You're going to have a chance. Don't interrupt him. You discussed taking photographs of her
Yes, ma'am.
for your website, doing a photo shoot, and in exchange for that, she would get a free copy of the photographs. Ms. Davis, what do you do for a living?
I'm a language interpreter
For whom?
for hospitals or law offices.
Is it your own business?
Yes,
What languages do you speak?
Spanish and Portuguese.
Tell me how you met Mr. Long, who was a photographer.
I met Mr. Long as part of a social cycling group that I'm a part of. And so they have weekly cycling rides, and he's always there, and I'm usually there too.
So according to what I read in your complaint, you got to chatting with Mr. Long, and sometime in October of 2021, so not quite a year ago, the two of you discussed him taking photographs of you to be used on his website, on his business website. That's a photography website, sir?
Yeah, but we didn't discuss, we just discussed doing a photo shoot together. Yeah.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Don't,
yes, ma'am.
Don't say no unless,
Yeah, I mean.
I already live with people who say no just to say no. You discussed taking photographs of her
Yes, ma'am.
for your website, doing a photo shoot, and in exchange for that, she would get a free copy of the photographs. That's what you discussed.
Yes,
That a fair statement?
yes.
Is that a fair statement?
Of some of the photos, yes. Well,
No, I don't think that you said some of the photos. You said, you sit for a photo shoot for me, that I can use the pictures on my website.
That's not what.
Well, are you in the business of photography?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you make your living?
Yes, ma'am.
People paying you to take pictures of their wedding, communion, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
right? Anything else? Birthday parties.
Something
And in
just
order
to
to
talk.
do that, you have to show off your best work.
Yes.
And if you ask a model to do that, so that you could use a model, just as you get paid for your work, so would the model.
Right.
So what you did with her was barter. You bartered her time in sitting for a shoot for her to get something in return, which were copies of the photographs. That doesn't mean that she owns them. You were free to use them on your webpage, on your business webpage. Am I outlining your case?
Yes, more or less.
Okay, so now I will summarize what the case is about. According to what I've read, the two of you looked at the photographs and you picked out about 30 that you liked, according to somebody. He got you the 30 pictures, but then you saw a picture, don't shake it, you saw a picture that you didn't have that was posted on his website that he hadn't given you.
Well, he hadn't given me any of the pictures. I was able to view some.
With 30 photographs downloaded so that you could see them on your computer.
No, he sent me a Google Drive link for 29 photos.
Okay.
That I
Do you
couldn't
just-
download. I could only view.
Okay. Did you tell him that you couldn't download them?
Yes.
Did he repair that?
No.
So now you want to be compensated to the tune of $2,500 for using your pictures on social media. That's what you asked for in your case.
Yes, for using them to promote his business.
That's
And-
okay. Well, you knew he was
Yes, I
going.
did.
Okay, Ms. Davis, you knew that he was going to use the photographs to promote his business. That was your contract. Mm-hmm. That's not that's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
That was your contract. Your complaint is that he did not fulfill his entire end of the bargain by getting you copies of all the pictures.
Yes.
Okay. And you have a nonsense counterclaim, Mr. Long, because you want money for compensation for a photo shoot. That was never.
No. Well, what I want money for is a nonsense counterclaim for a nonsense suit.
No.
What I want money for is if she wants me, because she actually, I want you to take down every photo and delete everything you have. Well, if you want to, that means if you want to own the rights to the photos, this is what it's going to cost you.
You've not just a second. She doesn't want all the rights to the photos. She can't.
That's what she called me saying.
Okay. But she can't modify the agreement.
Agree.
If I find, which seems absolutely logical, and I don't know why you just wouldn't do it, give her the photographs, which you bargained for, so that she got copies of them in exchange for you using them on social media. That seems to be perfectly simple, Mr. Long. Did she ever notify you that she couldn't download
No.
the 29?
You know when she notified me? So in May of this year, which is Women's History Month, I was daily, I post some photos of women I took photos of and just kind of like honor them for Women's History Month. So on like May 5th, with 5th day of Women's History Month, I posted.
Slow down.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. So I posted 3 photos of her to say, hey, I want to honor, a friend of mine. It's Women's History Month, just kind of I thought I was doing a nice thing. So then she calls me. I was picking my daughter from school. Well, she emailed me. I don't know if she emailed me
Does
first.
this have something really important to do with this case?
Yes.
Oh, well, get there, please.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not interested in picking your daughter up from school.
But you asked me when did she notify me. So 5 months later, she notified me in May. The photo shoot was in November. But you asked me when did she notify me. She told me this right as all of this, as she wanted to start an argument.
Mr. Long,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can talk from today till tomorrow.
I know, I'm long-winded.
What the agreement
Yes, ma'am.
is clear. She sat for you. How long was the photo shoot? Don't look at me. How long was the photo shoot?
Almost 5 hours.
How long was the photo shoot, Mr. Long?
No, it's about about 3 hours. About 3 hours.
Okay, so anywhere between 3 and 5 hours.
Ma'am.
Anywhere between 3 and 5 hours.
Well, it definitely wasn't 5.
She said
it was wintertime, so it got dark early. We were outside at Cascade Nature Preserve. So
I'm getting so bored.
I know,
with
I'm
you.
sorry. But yeah.
Anywhere between 3 and 5 hours. And if you shot 100 pictures during that time?
Oh, no, much more. So we did.
So how many pictures did you shoot?
Probably 300-400. I mean, it was a lot.
Not so.
No, yeah, well, because this is important. So what happened is that we did a lot of motion shots. So which means that I put the camera in high continuous shutter mode. So while she's moving, I'm capturing I'm just taking photos, right? And then we choosing out of which motion that looked best.
No, just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to send her the copies of the photographs that you took.
That was an agreement, Your Honor. Because why would I send you every photo and I'm gonna have work out there with my name on it, that something, because you blinked and we moving. We taking action shots. I'm never,
just a second. Do you think, hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that this woman is going to put out a photograph anywhere that looks terrible of her?
Yeah, see,
that would be
right.
That would be ridiculous.
See, we have a difference in opinion, right? She may think this is a nice one, and as a photographer, I'm like, and another photographer sees it, they're like, this is kind of garbage, right? And so I'm never going to give somebody something that I wouldn't approve of myself.
Oh yes.
Ever.
Well, what I'm telling you, Mr. Long, was that was not your agreement.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to, in 30 seconds, you commiserating with each other from this cycle group, whatever it was, and I want you to tell me your memory of the discussion with the plaintiff about the photographs, about her sitting for you for a photo shoot. Then I'm going to hear hers. Quickly, what is your memory of the discussion, initial discussion that you had with her over her sitting for a photo shoot? Don't make things up. No. Mr. Long, then just tell me.
This is factual.
Then just tell me.
Yes. So we were at a social gathering. It was a holiday party for one of the groups that we are part of, right? So we were at this bar called Handlebar in Atlanta, and we were talking, and I was doing some shooting inside of the party, right? And she says, hey, we ought to shoot together sometime.
That's not true.
Just a second.
Yes,
you're going to have a chance. Don't interrupt him. Just keep going. And you understand,
yes, ma'am.
I know the difference between rain and someone peeing on my leg.
Right. And
I just know the difference.
I'd never pee on
Okay. Let's move on.
Right. And so we were at Handlebar.
So you were at a party. Hey, you're taking pictures. And she said to you, hey, come on, let's go.
Yes. Hey, we should do a shoot together sometime.
Okay.
And I was like, that would be cool.
Okay.
Right. And then so she reached out to me. So the Braves won the World Series last year. She reached out to me a little before the Braves won the World Series and said, hey, would this day be good? And I was like, well, it's going to be kind of cold. This is going to be going on. So the day that the World Series parade was, which was November 3rd. Right, November 3rd is the day that we shot because after the Braves, I went and met her.
Just a second. Do you have
Cascade.
any idea how disinterested I am in these facts?
I know, but
okay,
that's just
Mr. Long,
Yeah.
Before she got there, you had an arrangement, and if you can't tell it to me in a cogent way, I'm going to ask her, and I'm going to believe her. Do you understand?
I do.
Taking some pictures.
Yes.
You're taking some pictures. She comes over to you. She said, how about a photo shoot? You say, fine.
Yes.
I'm looking for your version of the contract.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So just give it to me. I don't care who was playing baseball. I don't care who was in the finals. It means nothing to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Just tell me the contract that you had with her. There had to be a contract.
Well, other than us verbally, there was no written contract.
That doesn't have to be a written
so you want
contract.
just what we verbally said? Yes. So then after that, we agreed to meet up, right? And then once we finished shooting, because we never discussed how many photos were going to be sent, right? Until we actually looked at the photos together, Your Honor. We looked at the photos. She said, "Oh no, I don't like this one because there's something."
Just a second. You looked at the photos on the date of the shoot?
No. Well,
When?
She looked at some of them on the camera, but not every photo that on the camera. But
When did you look?
Oh, I sent it to her on November 6th. I emailed her. So November 3rd is when we shot. November 6th is when I sent her the photos.
How many did you send her?
29.
Okay, but you didn't send her all of them.
No, because that wasn't an agreement.
Well, I didn't hear the agreement. I didn't hear anything about an
Because
agreement.
We didn't have a specific number.
I didn't hear anything about an agreement.
That wasn't
okay,
a specific
good. Now you have to be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me your version. Make sure that I get exactly the case.
Okay. On October 15th, we were both at a holiday event from one of our social groups, and he actually came up to me. And he was like, "You're beautiful. I would love to shoot you. I'm trying to build up my photography practice." And I was like, "Okay, what do you want to do? Like a, barter thing where I get a copy of all the pictures and you can use them to promote?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "We can talk about it this week."
Oh, so what he said to us, yeah, we can talk about it this week. Keep
No,
going.
and we had
Keep
another
going.
phone call.
Keep going.
To solidify that I would get a
No,
copy.
no. Don't say solidify. Solidify is a conclusion.
Okay.
What I want you to tell me is after that meeting, you had another conversation.
Yes.
Did you call him or did he call you?
I called him.
Yes.
And I said, "Okay, so I know you had talked about the shoot. Like, what were you interested in doing? I know you talked about the barter." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm building up my practice. I would love to shoot you." And I asked him, I said, "Okay, so I'm going to get a copy of all the pictures, right?" "Yeah, you'll get a copy of all the pictures."
God.
I asked him then, I said, "Do you have a makeup artist?" Because I've done this agreement before
She
with
is
other
lying.
photographers. and
I
it
would,
was a
I
pretty
would like you to be
standard
quiet.
agreement.
Hey,
Okay.
I would like you to be quiet.
I will.
This is a pretty standard agreement with
No.
photographers and
Listen,
models.
listen.
Okay, I'll go back to it.
I'm not
So-
interested in that or the Atlanta Braves.
Yes. So basically what it was is I would get a copy of all the pictures. I would also do...
No, I don't want to hear basically. I want to hear what you said to him and what he said to you.
Okay, I
I
said-
don't want to hear anything else.
I said,
So
and
now you're shocked.
And I will get a copy of all the pictures.
Just
and he
to
said
see,
yes.
keep saying it again. I heard you the first
Okay.
time that you would sit and you would get a copy of the pictures.
Yes.
And he said, yeah.
Yes.
As I can imagine him saying to you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't.
You get an A for annoying,
But
which is not where you want to be here.
it's not.
Because this is really a very, very simple situation.
Yes.
Really simple. Of the pictures that you took of her, be very careful because she has it. Of the pictures, the 29 pictures that you sent to her, did those 29 pictures contain all of the pictures that you ever put up on your website? Or did you use any of the other pictures that you took from the photo shoot on your website? Do you understand my question, Mr. Long?
I do.
Did you use any photos other than the 29? That's either a yes or a no.
She told me yes,
No,
there's one.
just a second, not she told me.
That's what she told. Well,
Mr. Long,
Yeah.
not she told me. When you had a conversation with her subsequently and she said to you, "I saw you put a picture up on your website. It wasn't one of the ones you sent to me." A normal person who is a photographer, who is now having a dispute, would go back to the photographs and see which picture she was talking about and look to see the 29 pictures that you sent, and you would have said, yes, it was one of the 29 pictures that I sent to you. My question is a simple one. Were any pictures that were not turned over to her ever used on your website?
So I want to be honest with you, right? So
No, that's either a
right.
yes or a no.
Right. Well, this is the thing. So
no, there's
this
no
whole
thing.
conversation that she's
Mr.
talking
Long,
about
Mr. Long,
discussing
Mr.
the
Long,
number of
there's
photos?
no thing.
Yeah.
There's no thing to
Okay.
my question.
All right.
There's either a yes or a no. Were any photographs other than the 29 you sent her ever put up on your website?
Not to my recollection, because
Okay,
yeah.
just a sec. So the answer is not to your recollection. Now I'll come back to you, Ms. Davis. You did receive viewing copies of 29 photographs.
Viewing only copies, yes. Not copies, but access to a file, yes.
Okay. And there came a time when, according to you, you saw a picture on his website that was not a picture that you had had a viewing copy of.
Yes.
Do you have that?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Where is mine?
And then the communication with him, if you have any communication about that
I do.
photograph. Is this all clear to you, Whitney, this case? Is this clear to you? Is there anything that needs clearing up?
Okay, that
You
is
want
the
to clear?
text message.
clear.
This one was the specific one that I didn't recognize. I had seen.
No, I don't want to know that you recognize it. I want a picture that was not within the 29 photographs that he sent to you, and then any communication with him that you have via text message.
That's the text message.
That's a lovely photograph.
Thank you.
Yeah, she got it for free.
Text messages. You can also. Oh,
Happy Monday sent you all the photos you liked back when we took them. Okay. So what she's saying to you here is that she feels very uncomfortable about you having pictures of her that she doesn't have copies of and having them accessible to you to post. I just want to finish this back and forth.
Yes, ma'am.
She does say, if you don't want to send her all the pictures, just delete them all from whatever hard drive you have and take her pictures down from any social media. Did you do either one of those things? That's what this back and forth seems to talk about.
I
No.
didn't, and I was never
Okay.
going to do it because.
Okay,
once
just a sec. I didn't
took
ask you if the answer is no.
Okay, no.
Where are the photographs now, Mr. Long?
The photographs, I use scan discs, so they're on the SD card.
So very easy to make another one and just give her a copy. Is that right?
No.
What, it's hard? Is that hard, Sarah, to make a copy of that memory chip? What do you have to do?
I don't think so.
I mean, I've seen people do that before. They plug something in, they plug something in at the other end, and then
Right.
one transfers to the other.
Right.
Am I wrong?
it's not hard, no.
What?
It's not.
I think
The way-
he's saying it's not impossible. He's
Oh,
just
it's
not going to
nothing's
do
impossible. But one, I don't send all photos to anyone. I've never sent every photo that I've taken of someone. I've never done it.
Then, Mr. Long, I don't care what you've never done.
Right.
Then, shh. Why don't you try listening? If there is ambiguity in an oral contract, two things should happen. First of all, the one that tends to benefit the most from the contract, business-wise, is you. That's not her business. You see, these photographs are not her business. She does.
She wants to use these
she
photos
does-
for her business.
Do you see my mouth moving?
Yes, ma'am.
She works as an interpreter. So she doesn't need for her job as an interpreter photographs like this. They're nice to have to look through a book, nice to have professional photographs taken. I know Sarah loves to do that.
All right.
But this is your business.
It is.
And if you put up, why don't you be quiet and just listen? If you put her picture up on your website, you're the professional at photography, so that you have to create a contract. You, not her. This is a sport for her. This is social.
She models.
You.
She said she models and she wanted something for her portfolio.
She may want something, which is why she sat for you. She doesn't have the photograph, so you have two choices. Either you give her a copy of that drive that you have, you still own the pictures. Anytime that she wants to use the pictures, you have to get credit for the pictures.
I'm never going to give somebody every photo because I don't want any work out there that is not standard for my business to be out there and somebody post it. We took action shots. I'm not giving you shots and you blinking.
Mr. Long, it's Mr. Long. Mr. Long,
No.
Mr. Long, you came here and signed a document before you came into court today that you were going to be bound by any decision that I made. If you read the contract that you signed, that's what it said.
Okay.
So where do you come from? What city and state?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. And how did you get here?
Flew.
Yeah. And who paid for that?
I'm assuming you did.
Right. And when you got here, you stayed in a hotel. And I assume you want to go home. to Atlanta.
I do.
Eventually.
Hold on, you gonna...
No, I assume. And when you came here, sir, you also got a fee, an appearance fee. Is that correct?
Correct.
And how much did you get as an appearance fee for trying your case before me?
I can disclose that.
What, disclose it?
well,
I'm
I don't
asking
know.
you a
Well,
question.
because
You're
I
under
thought-
oath.
I thought you wasn't supposed
No,
to talk
listen
about
to
it.
me.
Okay. I'm
Don't
sorry.
look at her.
Okay.
Listen to me.
All right.
How much of an appearance fee are you being paid to have your case tried before me?
$300.
$300. And you'd like that $300.
I mean, yeah.
What?
Yes, I would. Man.
So this is what I'm telling you. I'm holding your $300 until she gets a copy of the hard drive with the photographs on it.
Okay.
So if you don't give it to her, it's going to cost you at least $300. You're just lucky I'm not taking your airline ticket as well.
Yes, sir.
When a contract that is verbal is interpreted, because there may or may not be a meeting of the minds in a verbal contract, but it seems to me that you were, and you're the business professional, so you're loosey-goosey. Use it for me, and I want to use it for my website. Can I get copies of the photos? Yes, I can get
That's not
copies.
what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, you can get copies of the photo. Then you sent her copies of the photos, and then you took down the site. It's not my fault that you didn't do anything. So this is my judgment. She gets copies of the photo shoot that was conducted in November of 2021. She gets copies of those photographs. Anytime she wants to use any of those photographs for anything, any publicity, it has to have your name on it, so send it to her, who the photographer was, and you have to get credit for it. You own the photographs. They are your photographs, but she gets copies of them because I cannot ascertain, other than listening to you, I can actually hear you saying, sure, you're going to get copies, and then you selected the ones
I can assure you
that
that's
you
not the
wanted
voice
to
of the
select.
it's not mine.
Anyway, that's my judgment. You get copy, your counterclaims dismissed. We're finished. Thank you very much.
I don't agree with it.
I'm glad that it's over.
No photographer is ever going to send somebody 100% of any photo that they took.
He owed me those photos. That was our agreement.
I don't want work out there that doesn't represent me.
I don't understand why anyone would want to hold photos from somebody that was doing them a favor.
It just changed who I do business with.
I mean, it's just like the judge said, why would I put a bad photo of myself in public?
What they may believe is good may not be what I believe is good.
It makes no sense. He's just a total liar.
I thought I was doing something for a friend and for free.
We weren't really friends. We were like social. Like, he's inflating that.
Now that don't matter if it's free or not, I do put it in writing.
Just go to a different photographer. Don't you waste your time.
Difference of opinion on that one.
Okay.
My roommate from college is a professional photographer who has done sort of a similar arrangement with me, and I've learned a lot from her about the ins and outs of the photography business. And I know that a big problem for photographers is they don't want the raw, unedited, like the defendant was explaining, photos of out of, say, 400 or 500 out in the world if they haven't put their photographer edit or touch on it yet, which I can understand if that's their business. So if I were ruling, I would have maybe, it's hard to split the baby in half per se, but said 50 photos out of, she only received the 29. So maybe if he had edited up to his standards, 50 of the photos and delivered her downloadable versions, but I understand that's sort of rewriting history from a loosey-goosey type
Well, it's rewriting a
arrangement.
contract. It is, and I actually see your point, but that would have required a lot of work for him.
Yeah, but he is the businessman. He should have had the contract to begin with.
Well,
and if
that's
you're
true.
going to be making statements to someone that you're going to give them all the photos, even though that's against what I know to be standard practice, then you're sort of out of luck. Then you're going to have unedited photos with your name attached to them. And as a photographer, you should really have more contracts in place for situations like this.
With a clear understanding by both parties. Yeah, that's his business, and he really wanted to use them for business. So he should have had a more stable written contract that I could interpret. Other than that, I was really comfortable with an all or nothing.
Yeah.
Either if you're going to use them and you've already used them on the website, a reasonable view of both their testimonies was he said, sure, yeah, you'll get copies, and then later gave her just a select few. But I actually understand now the standard in practice, and I could have offered that as an alternative.
Yeah.
Okay, you should poke me.
Okay, guys, this one actually frustrated me because I can understand both sides at first. But the longer this case went on, the more I started thinking, man, you created this problem yourself. And I'm talking about the photographer. Look, I completely understand a professional photographer saying, I'm not giving somebody every single raw shot I take. That part makes sense to me. If you shoot 400 pictures, obviously some of them are going to be blurry, somebody's blinking, the pose looks terrible, the lighting is off, whatever. And if photography is your business, I understand not wanting bad, unfinished work floating around with your name attached to it. I actually agree with him on that point. But here's where he loses me completely. If that is your policy, say that before the shoot. Seriously, you're the professional here. You know how your business works. She doesn't. So if your rule is, you'll receive 25 or 30 edited photographs, but I keep the raw files and you do not receive every image, put that in writing. One paragraph, one text message, one simple agreement. Problem solved. Instead, this whole thing sounds like, yeah, we'll shoot together, you'll get the pictures, I'll use them for my business. And then later, suddenly it becomes, well, I decide which pictures you get. Come on, man! That's exactly why Judge Judy kept pushing him on the original agreement. And honestly, his answers were driving me crazy. She asks one simple question, and suddenly we're hearing about parties, baseball, dates, where they were hanging out. Brother, what was the deal? That's all she wanted to know. And then we get to the part that really hurts his argument. Princess finds a picture of herself on his business page that wasn't included in the group he gave her access to. Now seriously, you're comfortable using that picture to advertise your business, but the woman actually in the picture can't even get a copy. That feels wrong. That's where I started agreeing heavily with the judge. Because you can't say, these are the only photographs I approve, and then quietly pull another one from the same shoot when it benefits your website. That makes the whole thing look inconsistent. Now, I do disagree slightly with how broad the final solution was. Because if we're talking about literally hundreds of raw, continuous action shots, I understand Sarah's point after the case. I probably would have gone with something like this. Photographer goes through the shoot, edits a reasonable larger selection, delivers those in downloadable quality, and both sides move on. Maybe 40, 50, 60 strong photographs. That feels more realistic to me than forcing a professional photographer to hand over absolutely every frame, including unfinished shots he doesn't want representing his work. So, on that specific point, I'm not 100% with the judge. But overall, I still think the photographer put himself in this situation, and his counterclaim really didn't help him either. Basically saying, well, if she wants all these pictures, then she should pay me for the shoot. No! That wasn't the original deal. The entire reason she sat there for 3 or 4 hours without being paid was because the photographs were the exchange. That's barter. Her time and image helped your business. Your photography helped give her professional pictures. Both sides were supposed to receive something. You cannot benefit from her side of the bargain and then redefine her side afterward. And this is the biggest lesson from this case for me. If you run a business, stop doing important deals with vague conversations. Especially photographers, videographers, designers, models, influencers, anybody dealing with creative work. Write down exactly what the client or model receives. How many edited images? Do they receive raw files? Who owns copyright? Where can the images be posted? Does the photographer need credit? How long until delivery? 5 minutes of paperwork could have prevented this entire lawsuit. And Princess, I'll say this too, asking for $2,500 just because he used the photographs commercially didn't really convince me either, because she already knew the purpose of the shoot was to help promote his photography. So I agree with Judge Judy there. You can't agree that he can use your images for his business and later act like the business use itself was unauthorized. The actual problem was that he didn't fully deliver what she believed he promised. That's a much stronger argument. So overall, I'm probably about 75% with Judge Judy on this one. The photographer keeps ownership and gets credit, completely fair. Princess gets the photographs she was promised, also fair. But I probably would have created a more practical middle ground regarding every single raw image. Either way, man, get a contract. Especially when your entire defense becomes, that's not normally how photographers do things. If that's normally how you do things, write it down before somebody gives you hours of their time. Guys, let me know in the comments. Do you agree with Judge Judy that Princess should receive copies of the entire photo shoot? Or do you agree with the photographer that he should be allowed to withhold raw or unapproved images? And if you enjoy these courtroom reactions and want more real opinions instead of just case summaries, support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications. It really helps the channel grow, and I seriously appreciate every one of you watching. I'll see you in the next case.